Today we are going to study chapter number 4, agriculture. Today in India, we know that agriculture is an important practice which is done in India. Today, India's 2/3 population depends upon agriculture for its household uses. Apart from the household uses, we also obtain raw materials for the various manufacturing industries from this agriculture. So we all can see that totally the population depends upon agriculture for its household as well as the raw materials. There are different crops also which are exported from our country to the different countries. So you all know that agriculture is an important practice which is done in India. In this chapter we are going to study what are the types of farming, the major crops, and what are the related problems which we are facing today in this time. We have the types of farming. First of all, we see what is the importance of agriculture. Importance of agriculture, first we can see the major primary activity. Major primary activity means the people are mostly dependent on agriculture. Today, whenever you go in the rural areas, in villages, these type of rural areas, you can see that people are yet also dependent on agriculture for their household uses. Second point here is that the only source of food. The only source of food means yes, also people are depending on agriculture for their food products. Third, provide raw materials for various industries. As I firstly said that they provides raw materials also for the various manufacturing industries which are going in India. And the last point is the highest employment providing sector. Highest employment providing sector means whenever you are engaged in agriculture, it provides you employment also. Now we have to the different types of farming. That what are the different types of farming? We have the first type, that is the primitive subsistence farming. Now in this farming what happens? That first is it uses small patches of land. Small patches means a less land is used for this primitive subsistence farming. As the word itself says, primitive means ancient, means old. Okay, so that uses small patches of land, means less land is used for this type of agriculture, that is primitive subsistence farming. Secondly, we have the uses primitive tools. Primitive tools means old ancient tools. For example, we can say hoe, hack and digging sticks. These are some primitive tools which are used in this type of farming. Third, we have no irrigation system. Now in this type of agriculture, we don't use any irrigation system. This is done by hand and just by primitive tools. No use of modern technology. It is used in primitive types of farming, means this type of farming includes primitive methods, primitive tools and no modern technology is used in this type of farming. Then no labor hired. It is just done for our self-consumption, for our self-production. Production is done for self-production. It is also known as slash or burn or shifting cultivation. It is also known as zooming cultivation. This shifting and slash burn cultivation is also known as zooming, and in different parts of India it is known by different names. For example, we can say milpa, deepa, zooming, pamlau. These are the various names which are given to this zooming cultivation. Now what is zooming cultivation or shifting cultivation? What people do, they take a part of land and do agriculture on it. Then when the soil fertility decreases, they burn the part and they go to the next patch of land. So this shifting cultivation, shifting from one patch of land to another patch, is known as shifting cultivation or zooming cultivation. Now we have the next type of farming, that is the intensive subsistence farming. Now in this, whenever we see that in primitive subsistence farming, the patches of land which was used was less. Now in this intensive subsistence farming, it is used, a big patch of land is used for agriculture. It uses all modern technology, whereas in primitive one we saw that no modern technology was used. But now in this intensive subsistence farming, modern technology is being used. Uses irrigation, uses insecticides, pesticides and fertilizers. Means there are used biochemical fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides. These all are used for this type of irrigation, that is intensive subsistence farming. Then in this, laborers are also hired. Production is used to sell in market. In primitive subsistence farming, it was done for the self-production, self-consumption. But in this, the production is done for the market, to sell the products in market. But due to law of inheritance, size of land is reduced that straightway to production. Now there is some problems we are facing in where we can say the law of inheritance. Some people have less land because of inheritance, so that also affects the size of production. So this was the intensive subsistence farming. Now the third type, we have the commercial farming plantation. Now as the word itself says, commercial means doing something for money. In primitive one, we used less patch of land. In intensive substances, we used less not, but a more part of land. But now in commercial farming plantation, there a big patch of land was used for the agriculture. Now if you use a big patch of land, you are using much more modern techniques, much more fertilizers, much more production. So it uses big patch of lands. HYVS means high yielding seeds varieties are also used in this type of agriculture. Pesticides and chemical fertilizers are used. A single crop is grown. Now in plantation, what is plantation cropping? Plantation cropping means an area of land is used for growing a single crop. Only a single crop is grown, not different type of crops, but only a single crop is grown on a patch of land. So that is plantation farming. Labor intensive farming. Now if you are doing commercial farming, you are doing for the production in market. You know that there is use of labor, so it is a labor intensive farming because most of the labor depends upon this type of farming for their income. Production is used as raw materials in agro-based industries. Now where the industries which are agro-based, which are depending on agriculture, it is used for the production as raw materials. Their production is used as raw materials for these agricultural based industries. And last, the well-developed transportation has helped a lot. Now for this commercial farming or plantation farming, we need a good transportation facility also. So this also has helped a lot of it. So these were the three types of farming which were used in agriculture. Now we come to the cropping pattern. What are the cropping pattern used in India? Now cropping pattern, it also depends on the physical environment, the physical conditions and the use of land, which type of land, how you are using, what techniques and what technology are you using on those land. So behalf on this, we have cropping patterns. First cropping pattern, first cropping season, we have the Rabi crop. Rabi crops, these are sown in winter from October to December. So these are sown in winter. This time limit is from October to December. Harvested in summer from April to June. When we are sowing them in October to December, that are harvested in summer from April to June. Some of the important Rabi crops are wheat, barley, peas, gram and mustard. All of you know about all these crops, that these are the important Rabi crops which are sown in October and December and are harvested in the time of summer. These crops are grown in large parts of India, states from the north and northwestern parts such as Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh and Jammu Kashmir, Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh. These are some states which are producing these Rabi crops, where these Rabi crops are grown in a larger population. The second cropping pattern here comes the Kharif crop. We all know that there are three seasons, Rabi, Kharif and Zaid seasons. First we studied about the Rabi crops. Now next we have come to the Kharif crops. Kharif crops are grown with the onset of monsoon in different parts of the country. When monsoon is going to arrive, then time these crops are grown, okay, in different parts of the country. These are harvested in September and October. The Rabi crops were harvested in the summer season from April to June, and these are harvested in September to October. Important crops grown during this season are paddy, maize, jowar, bajra, tur, moong. All these type of dals, with these are the important crops which are grown during these Kharif crops. Paddy crops are oats, aman and boro. These are some paddy crops also which are produced or which can be used as Kharif crop. Then some of the most important rice growing regions are Assam, West Bengal, coastal regions of Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Maharashtra. These are some states which produce a lot of Kharif crops. And these were the two seasons. The last one is the Zaid crops. Now what is in Zaid crops? In between the Rabi and the Kharif seasons, there is a short season during the summer months known as the Zaid season. Now Rabi or Kharif, these are the two important seasons. Now in between these two, we have the Zaid season also. This is from the short season during the summer time. So it is known as Zaid season. Some of the crops produced during Zaid are watermelon, muskmelon, cucumber, vegetables and fodder crops. So these are the crops which are grown in the Zaid season. So these were the three cropping patterns, the three cropping seasons which are used for the different crops. Now we are going to study about major crops one by one. What are the temperature, what type of climate, what type of rainfall these crops require. The first crop we come to is the rice. Rice is the staple food in India, means most of the population eats rice. Staple food in India. India is the second largest producer of rice. It is a Kharif crop which requires higher temperature above 25 degrees Celsius. Now what is the requirement of temperature here? It is above 25 degrees Celsius and high humidity with annual rainfall above 100 centimeter. The temperature be above 25 degrees Celsius and the rainfall limit is above 100 centimeters. In the areas of less rainfall, it grows with the help of irrigation. Now where rainfall is less, what is done? Irrigation tools are used. Irrigation is used for the help of its growth. These are grown in the plain areas. Where the areas are plain, we have plain areas, it is grown in the sub-season. The second crop here we come to is the wheat, which is mostly or which is most important crop which is used in India. Wheat, this is the second most important cereal crop. This Rabi crop requires a cool growing season and a bright sunshine at the time of ripening. Now at the time of ripening, what happens? That bright sunshine is required by this type of crop. It requires 50 to 75 centimeter of annual rainfall. Now the annual rainfall limit of the rice crop was above 100 centimeter, but the rainfall requirement for wheat is 50 to 75 centimeters distributed over the growing season. The major wheat producing states are Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan and parts of Madhya Pradesh. So these are the states which are producing wheat on a large spot. Thank you.